Hey guys, welcome back to the Pruning Podcast. I'm your host, Ataya Smith, and welcome back, guys, for another episode. I'm so excited for this episode because I have my bestie on the podcast.
Hey!
I'm literally so excited. I cannot believe they haven't been on it's just Lexi today. But I can't believe they haven't been on the podcast since January, the first time we met, which is crazy. We're all the way in September.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
It's so crazy.
Glad to be back, though.
I'm so excited. This episode's going to be good.
A good one.
And so I guess, I don't think Lexi has ever answered this question. I don't know if I asked y'all this the first time. I don't even know if I had the question is, what has God been pruning y'all on? The Pruning Podcast question.
Yeah, okay. So for me, God's been pruning me on obedience, like very loudly, because we've just had to walk through a season of just complete obedience. And now it's like we're reaping the reward from it and we're at the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's like all of this like goodness and light and everything. And it's like all of the pain, all of the sacrifice, all of the, the grief that we were going through, it was all for this reward.
Yeah.
And it just feels so good.
And that's so good because I feel like this episode kind of like ties into obedience in a different way, because it's like I really wanted to talk about, because I feel like you and Cullen went through that, and then like I've been through that / currently in a waiting season. And so I just want to talk about like the waiting and quiet seasons when it feels like, God, are you there? And so I remember on the first podcast y'all came on, we talked about how like you and Cullen were apart for a season.
9 months.
9 months. And so during that time, that's a whole waiting season. You had no expectancy getting back with him. And so it's like during those 9 months, it could have been so easy to be like, God, do you hear me? God, where are you at? Like all these things.
I think I was like that too, like especially the first couple of months.
Yeah.
Because clearly like it was like a very confusing, painful, depressing time. And I don't want to speak depression over your waiting season because we rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But I was very lost. Like I knew that God was calling me, and I knew, I had to be with him, but I still was like fighting him. Yeah. Because I mean, if you know, like I was in the clubs and stuff, and that in the beginning of that season, I didn't know that I could like just be with God and his love, and that I only needed God. Yeah. Eventually I did learn that, but in the beginning it was like clubs, partying, I need a boyfriend. Like I remember I saw that he had gotten a girlfriend during that time, and it hurt so bad. Like I was literally in bed, like hunched up, like all balled up, and I was crying the moment that I seen it. Yeah. And then it was just like my mission to get a boyfriend. Yeah. Because I was like, dude, that's what I need. Yeah. Like he has a girlfriend, like I need a boyfriend. Literally. Like I don't need him. Yeah. But instead of saying like I don't need him, like I need God, I was saying I don't need him, I need another him. Wow. And that's where it was like, no, girl, like that is not it. And slowly, I mean, I might have been in the club Saturday night, but I was in church Sunday morning. And not that like that's a good thing, but it meant something because I was trying. I was still chasing his heart. Like I didn't completely surrender everything and give it all to him yet, and completely just like be with him or learn what it really meant to like just be with him and be okay with just him. Yeah. But I started to go to church. I was alone. I didn't have really anybody to come with me. And it was while I was going to church that I realized like I had to surrender everything to him. Yeah. And that's where I had surrendered Cullen. And I remember being on my knees in the pew, and I was just like, God, look, I completely give him to you. And it's like, I'm going to be real. I don't even remember like what exactly like just made that switch flip. Yeah. But like it was nothing but God, because it's like I was just in there and I was just like, I completely give him to you, like I surrender him. If he's supposed to be somebody else's husband, like let him be. I pray that he's the most amazing husband to them. I'm letting go of the plan that I had for myself. I'm letting go of the plan that was in my head where I wanted to be married and his wife, and I wanted to have his children, and I wanted to live this, this good life with him. I'm letting go of it. If that's not your plan, then like I trust you completely. And I feel like that's really hard in the waiting season of where it's just like, okay, God, like I trust you. Yeah. But I feel like the more you spend time with him and you let him gut you of all of those unpure things, or the things that aren't of him, or the things that like the enemy calls, like because we live in a broken world. Yeah. So it's like you're gonna be by things that, you know, aren't for you. You're going to like absorb them. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be
so good.
laughed at. You know, like, that's just the world we live in. He doesn't want that for us, but like, it's so good. Kind of inevitable.
And like you said, so many good things there. Few of which.
I'm sorry if you rambling.
No, literally. But it's so good. I feel like everyone needs to hear it. One, I feel like the going to church, like it's like I'm going downtown on a Saturday night, but I'm going to church on Sunday. So many people think that they need to be fixed and put together before they go to church.
To where
it's like I might as well just not go to church. I'm going downtown, but it's like,
you know what that reminds me of too. God doesn't call the qualified. Wow. He calls the unqualified. And he makes you into like, you know, qualified.
Literally.
Person, you know?
And like I feel like so many people just shame themselves. You know what I mean? Like I said, like it could have just been so easy to be like, no, like I'm not going to church. I don't got time for that. And then also I feel like, surrendering your plans. Can I just talk about how hard that is? Because it is like, Lord, I wanted to have this person's child. I wanted to do all these things with him, and then it's like ripped out of you, and it's like, oh my God. No. Like reality check.
Yes.
And I think like what you said, like you had to be like, okay, God, if it's me and him at the end of the day or not, whatever, I trust you. And so many of us, we want to take our plans and try to make them God's plans.
Yes.
Like God's like, this isn't what I have for you. But like, no, God, like, can you make this your plan?
Yes.
And y'all ended up together, but not through your will.
Right. And it won't happen like that for everybody.
Exactly.
Like that's something that I've grown to learn too, because it's like I've met a couple of girls where it's like, even you, where, you know, you're pulled from this season and you thought it was everything perfect. And you thought like, you know, this is going to go super far. Like, this is God's plan. Like, this feels good. I can't wait. And then like it's ripped from you. And then you're like, what
literally,
do I do?
Like, what is happening?
Yes. But it's just like, you still have to trust him through that. And just like give up your plan. Because at the end of the day, you got to think too, like God literally created the world in 7 days. Like think about like what he's doing or like what his plans will look like and stuff. And think about like ours. Like we're just looking at like these like couple
what's in our face.
Right. And I mean, he just has it all figured out from the time that we were born. And it's a good and perfect plan. So,
and I feel like so many girls struggle with like, I think that's one thing I promised myself, because like I told you, I learned from so many people's mistakes. So I like see so many of my friends just like go through heartbreak and like run back to that person, or go through heartbreak and like turn to the world, literally. And so I guess my question for you would be like, how was walking through that from someone who used to, you know, like, because you and Cullen broke up several times and got back together. So someone who used to run to the world, how did you be like, no, like I'm running to Jesus this time?
If you want me to be completely real, it was because I had to. It was literally my last like resort. And that's where I feel so heavily for girls that do like continue to go back and back and back. And I try to like, you know, intervene and be like, please just give it all to God. Like, don't keep on, you know, bringing yourself back to that. Because like I've told Cullen before, like, whenever we were getting back together after those 9 months, I didn't want to be with the person that he was before I left him for those 9 months, because that wasn't good. I thought it was good. I thought it was love, but God taught me what love was in those 9 months. And it's like, I'm not going to settle for less than. I'm not coming back to you if you're not going to be a true man of God, and if you're not going to treat me how I'm supposed to be treated and love me how I'm supposed to be loved and make this beautiful life together. You know, I want to go to what God has for me, not what the enemy has for me.
And I think so many times the enemy can cloud our judgment so much to be like, why would a loving father take this away from you? Like, because when you're in it, I tell people this, you can't see like everything, the full picture. When you're outside of it, you're like, thank you, Jesus. Like, what?
Yes. Well, I mean, like, what I was about to say too, though, is like, Cullen was like ripped from me. And that's where I just kind of had to, like, I had nobody to like turn to or anything. Like, of course, family's there, but what's family gonna tell you? Like, they're right or not behind you. Literally. So it's like, no, leave them alone. But it's not that easy. You know, so it's like, the circumstances that it happened under, like, I don't like how it happened, but it's like God used that for the betterment of today, for That's sure. So good. So it's like I literally had nowhere to run to. And like I said, I was in the clubs and stuff. I tried to find it in the world first. I tried to find it, you know, going back to him. I'm gonna be completely real. It was even at a point where it was just like booty calls. Like I literally was just like, look, I just want you in my life. I still love you. And that was enough for me.
Yeah.
And it's like I look back on it and I'm like, girl, like you should have been like, get up. Like that's not okay, you know? So I'm just glad in that season, like it hurt a lot. There's so many times I cried. There's so many times I was alone and I literally felt like I was in a hole and, you know, like couldn't like get out. I had nobody. But at the end of it, I'm in church by myself, loving who I am, loving the season that I am, good. Making new friends, you know, traveling the world. Like I remember I had made a TikTok or something and I was like, God, I've been to 4 states in 2 weeks. I see you, God, or something like that.
Wow.
And it's crazy because like there was so many times the person that he was in high school, I would be like, I want to do this. Like, let's go to the beach. Like I had so many dreams and stuff, but it just wasn't happening or he didn't want to do any of that or anything. Yeah. So it was like I started to like find who I was and be okay with that and just be okay with just me and God. Like he showed me a different love. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like enough. Yeah. It was enough for me.
That's so good. And I feel like during that season, it was so silent. And like you went, I mean, I couldn't imagine how y'all were together for what, 5 years?
Oh, yeah.
Like being with someone like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then like alone.
Yeah, that's
not
what I'm
knowing
saying.
what he's doing.
That's your normal.
Yeah.
You know, like that was your normal. And then like you're wondering like, and Cullen wasn't the type of person to post on social media. So like
you never knew.
Girl, like, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I would try to text or something, like I'd be on delivered for like 8 hours. Like he was trying to play like hard, you know? And I'm over here like with the softest heart and I'm like, I love you. Like I know what can happen between us. Like let's keep trying. Like let's do this over and over again. But it's like, no, that was
not God's best. And I also think about like, God is like so intentional, you know what I mean? Like what would have happened if you listened to your flesh, you listened to your heart and was like, no, Lexi, go be with him, how he is. Like, would y'all be as on fire as y'all was for Jesus? Like,
I don't think
it
so.
took that isolation season for you to be like, no, I know what I deserve. And him to be like, no, I want her. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I love that so much though, because like if you really think about it, like the people and the couple that we were then, like, and I feel like that's what makes everybody so angry too, that maybe we're like in our hometown and stuff, because they're like, that's not who they were and like
you're not supposed to be.
Exactly. Like once you meet Jesus, like he literally changes you. He changes everything about you, changes your life like completely. Yeah. So the people that we were in high school, oh my goodness, like we'd still be fighting. We'd still probably be breaking up every day. We'd probably still not be going anywhere, not really doing nothing with our lives or like having any like real plans. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. Cullen didn't even want kids right away. Yeah. Like there was so many times where he's like, no, I don't see us getting pregnant anytime soon. Or I would even be like, I'd be like, would you want to get a place together or something like after we graduate? And he's like, no, I don't plan on leaving my parents till I'm like, what, 25? And I'm like, what? Yeah. So it's like, it's so crazy because once we got back together, all that happened so quick. And that's another thing too, though. Like whenever it's from God and it's for God, like you can't put a time on it. You know what I mean? Because we got engaged like pretty quick and then we got married like pretty quick. But it's because like it was day and night for us. You know, like it was like when you know, like God was just calling us and he's just like, y'all are supposed to be married. And that's all it was. That's all it was about for us at that point, because, I mean, we didn't even care about having, like, the big wedding or anything. Yeah. We were just trying to be obedient to God. Yeah. Because clearly, you know, we were still, like, doing things we weren't supposed to be doing together. Yeah. I mean, trying to follow God. And, like, that was the last step. Yeah. And once we were married, like, that's where it really just, like, took off. And it's just like... Yeah. That's so, Kosie's so cute. And can we talk about, like, I kind of want to talk about during those, it was kind of the thing with that we talked about on the other episode, like obedience and like how it could have been so easy to like listen to everyone else. I don't know if you had people telling you like, no, like you need to go fill all these things, like you need to fill the void, like Jesus isn't the answer. And like I feel like so many people struggle with the quiet seasons because they feel like God isn't going to answer their prayers, and or they feel like they have to take control because it's like, I don't trust you with these things. I don't think you have my best plan. You know what I mean? So I guess how
did you fully surrender that to him? Because I feel like that's what a lot of girls struggle with. And I also feel like surrender is like surrendering and then expecting nothing in return. Because it can be so easy to surrender and be like, but maybe like we'll be back together. But no, you have to surrender it all. So like, how did you do that?
I think what really helped was just I kept showing up with God.
Yeah.
There was so many times where I was in my Bible, like all alone. I was a nanny at the time. So I had like mornings. She would take 2 naps. And I'd have morning time and like in the afternoon time. And I would just open up my Bible and I would be with Jesus. I'd spend time with him. I got to know him more.
Yeah.
So like whenever I was going to church, I knew that was like my quiet time. I would go before just to like sit and pray with him.
Yeah.
And then I just felt it. You know, I just felt it where it was like, he ridded me of all the pain, all the regret. Like as I started to feel like his love more, it didn't even seem like an option, you know, like it felt good to do that. Yeah. Like, you know how it feels good whenever you're giving instead of taking.
Exactly.
Whenever you know, that's what it felt like. It just felt like I was just ready to do that, and that's just like all I wanted. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like I just felt so full and complete. Yeah. So I feel like if you just spend time with him and be intentional with it, because God is intentional, but I feel like if you're intentional with him, that's where it really comes in and like changes everything, because then it gets like so much better, because you know you aren't expecting anything in return, and like he knows your heart. You can't sit there and just be like, God, I give it to you, and then like you really don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's whenever you really do give it to him, and like he can feel your heart. He can
feel the shift. Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that's where I was. And that day that I was in church, and I feel like that's why I'll never forget it, probably because he wants me to like share it so much, because like that was like such a like important time, like that really like shifted everything, because after that, that's where it was like, oh, like now I'm just like seeing you randomly at a club like you'd never go to. Literally, and now we're in the back talking, and like everything just happened so quick like that. Like what? Literally. It was almost like, do I trust it? Do I trust you? Like, ooh.
And it's like that time you went to him with like, oh no, like you're not going to be the same, like night and day difference. Exactly. Like if you want to be with me, then it's a night and day difference. Right. And I think the hard thing I've had to learn is that like if someone really wants to be with you, they're going to do everything it takes to be with you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I feel like so many girls struggle with, you know what, like this is God's best for me. I'm just going to take him as he is. And like maybe he'll change in the future, or maybe he'll change when we get married. And I'm like, girl, if he hasn't changed now.
No, he won't. Unless he has a deep encounter. And that's another thing too. Yeah. I would just pray for him. So like if you are in a situation like that, I would just say like just continuously like pray for him and pray that he has a deep encounter with Jesus as well, because if the man doesn't love Jesus, then he can't love you.
That's so good.
That's not something you want to settle for. Like a man that loves the world and everything that's in the world, like, girl, you're going to be on a ride of your life, all your life. You're never going to feel full enough. You're never going to feel good in marriage. And I think that's why women struggle to this day, where they're like, oh, he's cheating on her or something. Like, no way is that good. Or they even are like, I don't know, I feel like it's rehearsed. I feel like he's not that happy. Why? Yeah. Because you've never seen a man be happy in their marriage before? Yeah. He's not supposed to love me like this? Like, no, that's what God calls for us. That's what God wants for us. But the enemy clouds everybody's mind, and he clouds you to think you have to live in this broken relationship, this broken world, and settle. But God says, no, you don't have to settle. Like, I have what's best for you. I have what's perfect for you. I have this good plan for you. Yeah. You know?
And I guess, like, for the person that's like, okay, like, I want to start reading my Bible. I want to grow closer to Jesus. I guess what are some practical steps they can take to do that? And also, like, I think I'm a strong believer in, like, you can't, like, be on and, like, I'm just in this season to where it's like, okay, sometimes you have to, like, fully let go. Like, you know what I mean? You can't have one foot in and one foot out. Yes. It's either you're fully in or you're fully out.
Yes. And, I mean, even if you're not, like, fully in like just yet. I would say like keep showing up and keep going to be fully in, because nothing's gonna happen until like you are fully in.
Exactly.
Because that's why I was able to like be in a club at night and be at church the next morning, because I wasn't fully committed.
Yeah.
But once I was fully in, I wasn't going to the club no more. Like, who's the club? Like,
literally,
what? I would never go there again. We talk about it all the time, because it's like you're in like this different season, but it's like whenever you're truly living for God, there's just things that you don't want to do. It's not because it's a rule or something, or God's
That's so good.
Yeah, like God makes, like, he tells you these things are sins and stuff because he loves you. Like, all of these things are so you can live like in the betterment of like the world that he wants for us, you know, the plan that he has for us. So, but yeah. Sorry, I keep going.
But that's so good. The 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But like, how do we practically be in the quiet season while like fully devoting that to God?
Yeah, I would just say like just continuously like spend that time with him.
Yeah.
And one thing that really helped me was I had a Bible study. I'm gonna have to look it up, and so you could link it down below.
Yeah.
But it helped me heal. It helped me like know like what it meant to be a daughter to a perfect father.
Wow.
And it helped me heal from the things that, you know, were coming up, you know, as I was in like that isolating season. Like I didn't grow up with my mom and dad. So it's like I was looking for love in this man, and I put all my love into this man to where it was almost like he was an idol. Yeah. So it was like, that's not how that's supposed to go. Yeah. So he brought up all those icky things, all those nasty things, all those, you know, things that pulled me away from him, or that still hurted me, or, you know, kept me distant. And like he just made me new. He healed me. He made me one. Like it's like my heart might have been like cracked in like all these places, and he just like
fragmented back together.
And it's still cracked in a few places. Like we still working in some areas, but it's like you just feel it. And as you take that time with him and you just sit down with him, and I know like some people are like, well, I just never hear his voice or anything. Like sit there. Yeah. Like seriously. Yeah. Sit there, like, and you will. Yeah. Keep going to him. Like, keep telling him, like, God, I want a relationship with you. I want what you have for me. You know, I want to continue down a road, like, with you. Like, I want to trust you. Like, even if you don't trust him, pray about that same trust. Like, God, help me trust you. God, increase my faith. That's something that I also pray, like, over and over and over again. I still pray that to this day. I'm like, God, increase my faith. Like, God, like, help me love you, you know, like, all of those things. I think that's really what helped me the most.
And then I feel like another prayer, I'm always like, I believe, God, like, I believe that you can do this for me. You do it for everyone else, but like, help my unbelief. Because there's parts of me that don't believe, because I'm human and I'm fleshly. So help the parts of me that don't believe you can do for me what you do with everyone else.
And I think that's a big thing, because like whenever you're honest with him and you just, you know, pray about those things that you realize like about yourself, that's where he can help the most too, because he's like, okay, like you see these things, like I'm going to help you too. Yeah. You know?
And it's like so many people come with like a put together prayer.
Yeah, no. That's not what he wants. Like you can literally just like look up and like have a conversation with him. Like I know it might seem like off, but literally like there's so many times. That's another big thing for me too. If I couldn't find the time, like if I was just in my car, I'm like, listen, God, today was like a rough day. Like I'm feeling like really like da 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 this and this, and I just pray that you da 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 da, and like it is literally just a conversation. Yeah. Like, and those are some of the times where I probably would even like just be bawling, crying. I'm like, what am I even crying for? Yeah. But it's like, it just feels that good to like talk to him and to trust him and to know him and to have a relationship with him. And like, turns into your best friend.
Yeah, that's so good. And what you said, like you had to like heal yourself, and I feel like so many times God may isolate you for a season because you need a healing season. Yes. Like you haven't known, like been able to heal with just him. Right. So sometimes that season that is quiet and you're alone, that's for you to fully heal, because how can you love someone if you're still broken?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm expecting all these things of him, but there was also things in our relationship from me. Yeah. And it's like, I stayed and like, you know, I tolerated a lot, but like for me, like there's still things that I had to like work on about myself too. And it's because like I had started working on those things, like I could look at him and be like, this isn't going to work if you're not doing the same thing.
That's so good.
We both have to, you know, be like on a journey to, you know, bettering ourselves so that we can be better. And I mean, like, now that we're married and everything, it's still the same thing and something that we have to die to ourselves every day and carry our cross with, because it's like we want to be the best versions of ourselves for our children. You know?
Yeah, that's so good. And I guess to wrap up the podcast, because time's almost ticking, but...
It goes by fast.
Literally, it does. I'm like, oh my gosh. But what advice would you give to the girl currently in a quiet season? It's like, I'm trying to be faithful, but I don't hear his voice.
I'm trying to be faithful, but I don't hear his voice. I would say keep searching for his voice, because you're going to hear it. And you're going to learn what the difference of his voice and the enemy's voice is too. One thing I learned in that season as well was the enemy's voice is very loud and it's shouting at you. So the enemy's going to tell you, go back to that boy. And God's going to be like, heal. Like, you know, just be in this season with me. Sit still, trust me, and spend time with him. Like, grow to let God be your best friend. Let God be enough for you. And whenever that's fully, because remember, he does know your heart. Whenever you're fully surrendered with all of that, I think that's where God himself is going to come in and show you, like, you know, this is where your reward comes in. That's where, like, the obedience is of, like, sitting in, like, the still moments and the quietness and the isolation. Like, it's okay to be alone because you have me. You know, like, it's okay to, like, just sit here and just surrender your plan, because you know that I have a better one.
That's so
like,
good.
And
it's like, until God plus nothing equals everything, then nothing will equal everything to you.
No, that's really good
especially if you don't have Jesus, because it's like, if you don't think God's everything and you think you expect the world to give you everything, then you're just gonna be in this rat race of circles, you know what I mean?
You know, you truly have nothing, because without God, you really have nothing. I don't know how I would literally live in a world like this without God. That's why we need him, though.
Well, it was so good having you on the podcast, back on the podcast. We're definitely have to do another episode, all the girl talk, because I just get so many people like, how do I surrender a relationship? Like, it's just so hard, and it is hard. I feel like it's one of the hardest things, but it's like, thank you, God, for this heart. You know what I mean? Because I know there's something I'm learning out of this. There's something I miss. There's something I'm getting out of this. And so if you are going through a hard season, you got this, and it won't last long.
No.
Pain may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. And
she's quoting the Bible.
Literally, I just remind myself that, like, it's on the other side.
Oh, yes.
And so we love you guys so much. Thank you, Lex, for coming on the podcast. And see y'all next episode.
Bye.